Much. Thank you. Thank you. This is the day we waited for. I'm so blown away by this day and by the concept that we are democratizing wellness, because that's what we're doing here. We're making history. So, a warm welcome to each and every one of us to this grand gathering. I say hello to the people online. I'm aware that we have more people online right now than we have in the room, so welcome. We're happy to have you. The Wellness Summit is a thought and a concept that has been with me for nearly a decade now, and it has refused to leave me alone. So I thought, finally, let's do something about it. For many people, wellness is something that finds them because they're grounded in the chase after money, after every other thing aside from wellness. And then as they continue to hustle and to look for all of those other things, wellness gives them a pat on the back and says, I'm right here, I need you. And then they have to pause and leave everything and attend to their health and wellness before they can then move on with other things. The dream is a life where we're able to combine every one of those things with wellness, where your well-being is great and your finances are great, your relationships are top-notch, everything working together, aligning together in harmony. That's the dream, and that's the dream that we want to sell to you today. So you will see different experts, seasoned experts, both in learning and in experience, come before you today to sell wellness to you. And we hope that at the end of today you will be convinced that wellness is not just something that we pick up when we need it, but something that we have to incorporate into our daily lives, something that should be at the very center of everything that we do and our existence. So, it is a journey that we're embarking on together. We'll look at the intricacies of well-being, and we would look at the transformative power of holistic living. It's not just in the food you eat. Yes, it is in the food you eat, but it is also in the environment. Even the wellness of the environment will influence and affect each of our wellness. So it's all interwoven, it's all interlinked. If you're not polluting the environment and your neighbor is, it may be affecting you. So we're going to be having these conversations. I want you to stay with us. I want you to talk about it on the chat. I see the chat buzzing already, so let's talk about it. If you're on your way here, hurry up. We're still here. We're waiting for you. We have we have our experts in the room. They want to attend to you. They're here to attend to you, so you're welcome. So over the next few hours, we will immerse ourselves in these enriching experiences, each carefully curated and crafted to nurture your mind, your body, and your spirit. You know, many people would say, let's be very conservative when we want to talk about spirituality and wellness. But it is a part of it, so we are going to have to talk about it. For most people, and that is why that saying that says religion is the opium of the people is such a deep thing. Is it right? Yes, maybe. But should it be? Maybe not. Because when you call it the opium, it then means that you are saying that it is what they use to dull the pain. But how about we find spirituality and godliness that we don't use to dull the pain, but we use to address the root cause of the problem and find healing and find wholeness. So there will be presentations here today there will be charts, there will be panel sessions, and all of them are to address root causes. So please don't be flippant about this. If you have to keep your phone away from you, do so. Immerse yourself in this experience, and you'll be better off for it. As many of us will know, I sort of have the gift of seeing things. And when I was preparing for this session, one of the pictures that was impressed on my mind is that of a baby, a very little baby. But what I saw was that what looks like a hard plate was being removed from the fontanelle of the child. So typically when you have a little baby, you know this place feels like it's still breathing, and it's very soft because the cartilages of the skull haven't finished closing. And why hasn't it finished closing? It is because the brain was still growing. The brain is still growing. So until the brain grows into its full capacity, then the skull closes up. So seeing that plate being removed, what it means is that there were people who had rushed to cover up that fontanelle, not knowing the purpose of it. So they had said, this place feels soft. Let's cover it. Let's cover it because it's dangerous for it to be breathing like this, and it's very vulnerable. What they didn't know is that the brain is supposed to be growing in that space. So with that plate being removed, what's happening is that there are conceptions and there are ideologies and mindsets that we grew up with, that the people that gave them to us, they weren't trying to be mean, is what they knew. And they thought they were protecting us. But that it's time to remove those things and to allow the brain to develop to its full capacity, to allow us to explore who we are to our fullest potentials. There are things that need to be addressed. There are mindsets, ideologies that need to be addressed so that we can actually proceed to become that person that we desire so much to become. So, it is not in first hustling and trying to make that name. It is in first sitting back and working on the internal. And then as we work on the internal, we find that the external has no choice but to agree with what has changed on the inside. And this is the message. This is it. This is it. This is a call. This is an invitation to let's work on the internal together, to let's address all of these issues so that the external will change. I would typically tell my coaching clients that they should tell me how many persons who have won the lottery that they know are still in money. And the answer is usually maybe just a percentage or two. If you research the number of people who have won lottery over the years, whether they are in Africa or they are, elsewhere. In fact, some of them, they go so broke that they file for bankruptcy. So they go far below where they were before money found them. And it is because we always auto-reset to the state of our minds. And it is again why we must address the mental part first. Why we must address the mind first. So whether you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to find mental, whatever it is that you're trying to address, we invite you to stay with us today and learn with us as all of our speakers and panelists come to this podium. And I promise you that you will never remain the same. I will still see you in the course of this event. Thank you for joining. Thank you for showing up. And that's my job done.